What's up, guys? Welcome back to YouTube. Today we're starting on the RD1. Doing the J2K all-wheel drive swap. Here you can see this is my engine and transmission setup. I've had this together for a good little bit. Still waiting on a couple things for it, like the engine harness I ordered from PJ's Customs, and then I've got to get the Haltech 750. I'm a dealer for Haltech, so I'll get that on order closer to time when it's actually needed, as opposed to just having it and sitting here. So I just got the CR-V on the lift. I went ahead and we drained the AC, or recovered the AC. I've got my AC machine over here. Got my helper. You my helper? Yeah. So I just got the lift set on it, and I'm about to lift it up and go ahead and start draining the fluids out of it. We'll get this swap pulled out. I've got another CR-V shell that needs a swap, so we're going to put this swap into the other CR-V and sell it. Make some good out of it, right? Everything in here's got to come out because I got an AC tuck kit. Obviously the radiator's coming out. Fuel lines are coming out. I think we are going to leave the battery in the fuse box, and I'm going to leave the brakes stuff. I hadn't decided if I'm taking the ABS off or not yet. I do have all the lines and stuff to remove ABS if I decide to do that. Still undecided. Probably gonna change the clutch master cylinder 2 while we're here. Put a EM1 style on it. Take off the CR-V one. The fitting is a different size, so it's just easier to find lines and whatnot if you're using EM1 style. These headlights are looking snazzy. Anyways, let's get this thing lifted up. Additionally, while it's up, we're going to be doing a lot of other upgrades as well, like changing the bushings for the trailing arms. Let's see, what else did I get? I know I've got a diff bushing kit ordered, and then I've got to change the subframe. I got all new bushings and stuff for the subframe, and yeah, I guess we'll just see along the way. Well, boys, it's been a hot one. We got it pretty much torn down. There's still a little bit to go. I've got all of the AC system out because I got a DC5 Creations AC kit, and it eliminates all the factory AC with the exception of what's on the inside. So went ahead and got the condenser, the dryer, all the lines out, all that stuff. Went ahead and got all the power steering components, all the lines, the return lines, all that stuff is out. As you can see, the subframe is also out. So I'm going with a Volvo electronic power steering on this. So went ahead and took out all those lines because it'll have all braided AN lines. I'm still on the fence about taking out the ABS. I have all of the stuff to take out ABS, all the factory hard lines and whatnot to eliminate that. And I'm still on the fence about doing it. I've had this thing for almost a year and I've never had it engage ABS on me. So it would clean it up a lot. It would eliminate this ABS pump down here. It would eliminate this bit of wiring right here, this little fuse box for the ABS. And it just helped tidy up some stuff. Like I said, most of this stuff is going to be kind of hidden on here because I'm going with this DC5 Creations AC kit, and then with electronic power steering, you're not going to see any of those hoses. It's got a PJ's Customs engine harness, so again, you're not really going to see much of that. I'm not really going for a tucked theme, but if I can make it a little cleaner, then I may go ahead and explore that option. Went ahead and took the clutch line out too because the B series clutch line is here on the right side of the vehicle. In the US it'd be the passenger side, and with the K series it's on the driver's side or the left side of the vehicle. So went ahead and got that line out because we're not going to be using it. I didn't really film much of the process of pulling that swap out, but I have videos for that stuff already, so just felt like it would be redundant if I remade those videos. See if I can find my hat sport stuff in my office. While we are in my office, got a shipment of stuff from Hybrid Racing in. I'm a dealer for Hybrid Racing, so I don't want to get too much stuff on these, but we got a bunch of air fresheners, shift knobs. Oh, also DC Sports, we're a dealer for them too. Radiator caps, oil caps, radiator caps. Some little socks to go on your reservoirs. I don't even remember what these are. Oh, that's the drink holder. So these are actually, they mount to a K-series shifter plate where you have a drink holder on the side of it. So those are pretty cool. But yeah, check out the site, HondaResource.com. We got hybrid, DC, True Heart, Skunk 2, HKS. Man, we got a bunch of stuff going on over there. Check it out. Where's the Hasport stuff? Haha. Yes, and there's the swap that I took out of the CR-V. This one's going to be going in another CR-V I have. I have currently 3 manual first gens, and one of them is a shell currently because I pulled the swap out of it. It's over here. There's a GSR swap of a customer's. This swap came out of one of my other ones. This is a P8R head B20, JDM B20, but it has a burnt valve. This transmission has no reverse, so I'm going to take this transmission, fix reverse, and put a longer 5th gear in it, and then made it to this GSR over here, which is mine. I'm going to piston and rod this motor, and then I've got an EK hatch. I'm going to make a B18C all-wheel drive with it. All right, so I've got the motor rolled over here up under the CR-V, and I've got the brackets at least temporarily installed. I just bolted in here at the bottom. That one's bolted in at the top. Still got to drill the holes through the top of this and put it all the way through, but should be able to get it hung on those two, just see how it's going to look. Well, we got the motor sat up in there. Right now it's just held on by this 2 side mounts. So I got this mount and that mount. So it's not mounted, right? Still got to do the subframe, but you can see the T-bracket that's on there puts it back to where the subframe is going to be good. Got plenty of clearance for the ABS stuff. I was still considering taking it off. I don't know, but I got plenty of room there. Not a lot of room for radiator. I was really hoping to be able to put a full-size radiator in here, and outside of putting like a Volkswagen radiator in here, it'll be tucked up in here. That's about the only shot I'm going to have at that, and have to do a filler neck in here somewhere. Yeah, man, I did. So with the tucked AC kit, I can put the condenser in front of the T-bar. I may just have to take off this crash bar. I didn't have a crash bar on the Yeeter either, so it doesn't really matter. This piece up here holds the bumper up to where it needs to be, so it's not a big deal on that. Definitely not much room. So I got everything in bolted from the DC subframe and stuck it up here, and then the T-bracket was sitting way too high. You can see it has basically dual height. So the way it sits on there is like this, right? But I had it in those lower holes because with it on the upper holes, this lower part of the bracket here hits the half shaft. So what I gotta do is cut this off with a cutoff wheel down here to where I can mount it on those upper holes, and then put it back up in here. Yep, it's a starter. It's kind of crazy. I did, you can see how much it sticks down too. I put the OE like skid bar down here, and it just barely hangs below that. I do have an OEM skid plate that I may put on here. I'm not sure yet. But let me get this thing modified and get it back up in there. All right, so I got the drive shaft bolted back in to kind of measure some stuff, and got this bolted back in, but you can see it's like the whole motor needs to slide back. So I'm not sure if just the bracket needs to be a touch longer or what, but I can't, it's not rocking, and just don't have any adjustments on the sides. Well, we got that baby bolted on with no spacers. It bolts in there, and let me show you how I did it. So when I was originally installing those mounts onto the engine, I had looked at Google to see which side was which, as far as which one went to which side. And you can see they have these offsets, right? That one's offset, and this one is offset. All the ones I saw for EK Civic, these are EK mounts, right? All the ones I saw for EK Civic all had that offset going forward. So what I did was I measured the space between the bolts, and they were the exact same. So it's like, well, I can switch sides with them and put the offset to the rear as opposed to the front. It's going to close in that gap, and it's going to give me a little more room here for my radiator, because I definitely didn't have that much room before. Heck yeah, that is awesome. Glad I thought of that. It just made it that much better. I'm working through these issues so you guys don't have to work through these issues. I've still got to go through and retighten these down. Obviously you can see that's not tight. I don't even have a nut on those yet. It's just sitting in here. I left those a little bit loose so that whenever I was tightening down those bolts, it could have it to be able to move a little bit, because these are little, the holes are bigger than the bolts. So it allows for a little bit of movement, right? So I left them a little bit loose while I was tightening down those in the back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get all these tightened down. So with the DC subframe, there's some stuff we have to change. We have to use the CR-V control arm. The CR-V control arm is longer than the DC, so we have to use it, but the bushing size is different for the DC and CR-V, so we'll have to use the front DC bushing and the rear DC bushing on the CR-V arm. So we have to use this bushing from the DC on the CR-V arm, and then that forward bushing that goes right here, we'll have to use it. The difference is the size. Like the CR-V uses a 19 mil bolt, where the DC uses a 17 mil bolt. A little more progress. I just went to the junkyard and got a used compressor. I could have bought a new compressor, but my thought was used compressor is cheap, still works, OEM, and save a few bucks. So this is 65 bucks compared to several hundred for a new one, and it's gonna work just fine. So now I need to go in there and get my DC5 Creations AC kit and make sure these fittings are gonna work, because they're supposed to. We'll see. And I can also go ahead and get the belt, because with that, all of my accessories are installed. I'm not using the power steering, mechanical power steering, so I don't have to worry about the inner belt. All it needs is the outer belt, and it just be for a Acura TL Type S. All right, and here we have the DC5 Creations AC kit. This is for an EK with a K series, but I read somewhere that the fittings work on the J series compressor, and then actually I think this is it for EK or is it for an Integra? I'll have to look back and see which one. I know with the hybrid stuff, whenever I had hybrid, the K series stuff on my lifted one, I used the Integra, because the Integra has a full-size condenser. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look and see which one I got for this. But this is a tuck kit, runs it through the fender well, and like I said, the fittings should fit on the J series compressor, these ones. Well guys, I guess it's going to pretty much wrap up this video. I did go ahead, I got a radiator in here. This is for the Volkswagen Scirocco. And then I got a radiator hoses kind of situated here. Clears the shifter. This is a B series lower radiator hose. I chopped the ends off of it. All right, this is the ends. Just one hose made all this. I got this little piece off of eBay, just a little filler cap. Wow. So now what I can do, put me a puller fan on this side, a pusher fan over here, either in front of the condenser or between. I think there's room to put it between, but it may be best to put it out here. That way it can kind of have more area. We shall see. But it looks killer, man. Look at that. Wow. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and close out this one, and we'll be back on another one very soon. I'm waiting on some exhaust pieces to come in. Then I've ordered all the stuff to do the rear disc. And then there's just a little other odd end stuff I gotta do. I gotta put the shifter in, the axles, fuel lines, you know, just some little dilly-dally kind of stuff. Not too much. Still waiting on the harness to come in too from PJ's Customs. But it's significantly closer than it was just a few days ago. We started this on last Tuesday, and this is the following Monday. Most of this was done on Tuesday and Wednesday, really. I mean, the only thing I did today was put the radiator in. I think the only thing I did Friday was mount the AC compressor and try to get the AC lines situated. I'm kind of having an issue with my suction hose here where it goes into that fitting there on the firewall. So I've reached out to DC5. We're just waiting to hear back on that. Got the hole drilled there where the lines go through. Obviously, I've got to put a grommet around that. Got to put the pressure fitting in there. But it's really, really coming together. I mean, we got the condenser mounted. I've got to mount the radiator still. It's just sitting in here. But I'm really happy with how everything's coming together. It just looks awesome. If you would like to follow me on this adventure, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments below what you think about this build. I'm really excited. I hope you are too. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.